Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly developer update. So, for this week, I've got just a few things to show you on the game. So, first of all, as you can see, I've changed the background to be just a bit more interesting. So I felt just like the plain night sky was just a bit boring. So now it adds more of this sort of, I don't know what you'd really call it, just like it just looks like there's more like of like a universe in the background, I guess. And I just think it looks quite nice. And then there's also quite a few stars dotting it, which when I made it an A sprite, I thought it looked alright, but then actually putting it in the game with all the bloom and the cameras, I think the stars came out looking really nice. So I'm quite happy with that. The only thing I maybe change about it is to make it loop a bit better, because it's just the same sprite that's looped across as the background. But this top right corner of it here doesn't loop particularly well. So I'll probably just change this top right bit to loop a bit better. But other than that, I think it looks quite nice. I'm quite happy with how this looks. I did have thoughts of animating it. However, I then didn't want to solely because animating the background, especially if the animation is too much, could be a bit hard on the eyes in the way that like the background is, well, that's what it's supposed to be. The background, it's meant to be something that is just not that important that you stare at. So I thought by not having it animated, it just means it's just simpler and you can concentrate more on the actual things the player needs to concentrate on, such as like where the player is and what planetoids are close to you. Also, I've noticed while actually moving around, the stars moving. I don't as they like move in and out from where the camera is due to like the post processing effects at the edges of the camera, which sort of like blur and dull it a bit. It sort of creates the illusion of the stars like twinkling around the edges, which looks quite nice. So other than the background, I think I managed to fix that bug that I showed a episode or two ago where the player just suddenly like light up. But it seemed to be a bug with the trail. However, after changing the trail around, I seem to have fixed that, which is good. Other than that, if I can progress a bit, I've added some moving planets in the level, and as you can see, I've actually built more of a level. Right now, the player doesn't actually stick to the moving planet. I'm not sure whether to keep it like this or not. So on one hand, this feels a bit unintuitive, being that the player doesn't actually stick to the planet. But on the other hand, it creates some cool differences with like moving around a moving planet that you're not really stuck to. In a way that I can sort of like swing a lot more around it. Like, oh, or as you can see like that, you can sort of leave it to orbit and catch it again. Oh, as you see, it sort of means the player has to actually stay in the planet if they want to. It makes it more difficult for the player to stay in the orbit while moving. However, as you can see, if you just don't move, you will stay still in the orbit, which is good. So yeah, there's that. Ooh, can I get back? Oh no. And the way I did that is essentially I grouped these two planets in this black hole together and just basically made the whole thing spin around a point. So these two planets will just spin around this black hole essentially. Other than that, as you can see, I've built a little bit more of a level, not tons by any means. For ideas for the first level, I think a, a mechanic I'm very much interested into looking in is adding some sort of transition slash like player launch mechanic. That isn't the best way to describe it, but in the essence of say like a Super Mario Galaxy launch star or more I'd say more like a barrel out of Donkey Kong Country, how you go into it and then it'll launch the player. Because I just feel like that'd fit the whole theme of trying to navigate this player through the level. So I think that could be an interesting mechanic. Because one idea I had for this level, because I want to make sure the first level is mainly just the planetoids and a black hole, so it's just the first level is just simple and introducing the player into the mechanics. I thought a good climax for the first level would be having a big black hole on the, say, the left of the screen, and then you have to try and navigate through the final part of the level while there's a giant black hole that's sort of like slowly chasing the plane, sucking everything in. I thought that'd be quite a good climax to the first level. But I think the way I do that is by, once you complete this normal part of the level, say the level goes up to, of course I'd extend the background, but say the player starts here and the level goes all the way to about here, I'd have the object that would transition the scene to a new scene that would then have the black hole on the left and you on a planet telling you to like sort of dash through the last part of the level. I think that'd be a good way to do it. So it'd be, yeah, a giant black hole that is basically approaching the player. It would have to be slow because this is the first level. I don't want to make the first level too difficult by any means. However, I think it'll be quite a good set piece. That would just be a bit more interesting. And it still fits the first level's theme of just being planetoids and black holes. Because right now it's just normal planets, normal black holes. Here I've got some moving planets. I'll probably do some more with some moving planets here. So, because I want to make sure I'm gradually introducing the player into the mechanics. So here is just learning how to jump from planet to planet, and that black holes will kill you. I'll also need to put some sort of level border around the level, but that can come later. And then once you get to this planet, it introduces that planets can move. So then I'll do some other things with moving planets. Such as, you know, rather than planets that go in a circle, I might have a planet that just goes up and down, or a planet might go left and right, for example. So having some moving planets to make the level more intricate. And then the climax of the level could be the black hole is chasing you, you have to navigate through some normal planets and then some moving planets, for example. I think that would be quite a natural progression for the level. So, other than that, one other thing I've got to show you is I worked on some word art for the game. I don't think it's final by any means, but this is a basic concept for the word. Well, no, I'd say this is a rough mock-up of the word art. So I've got a little player robot in the O just because I thought it'd look nice. I might get rid of it, but for now I think it looks alright. And then basically I just made the text with the same colours and sort of aesthetic of the planetoids, or meteors, planets, whatever you want to call them. So I think the only thing I really want to change about this right now is getting rid of some of these like straight lines and make them look a bit more rough, sort of like this, how it's a bit uneven, because like most of these planets aren't going to be like perfect circles by any means, or like perfect straight lines. So I want to make the letters look a bit more rough on the outlines. But other than that, I think it looks alright and it gets the job done. So, other than that, I think that's everything I've got to show you. As for next week, I would like to finish this first part of this level up to where I want to have this like sort of black hole climax of the first level. So I'd like to So I've got this part with the normal planets. I'd like to do more with the moving planets and maybe change how the player interacts with the moving planets to make it so he does like stick to them rather than sort of like as you could see before he sort of lags behind and then the gravity sucks him up. So I just try and get there real quick. I think this background definitely makes the game look a lot better though. Rather than that plain background, it's just a bit boring before. I can get over here. I can launch before that planet goes. There we go. Like as you can see, it's sort of the planet moves and then the player gets sucked up. Which I think I might want to change that so it's just the player is just round the planet. Because on one hand, having it like this makes makes for some interesting things with because you're lagging behind the planet. As you can see, when I go to do a perfect circle around it, I am sort of lagging behind it, which can be quite interesting and changes it up. But on the other hand, I'm not sure how intuitive that is. It might feel just a bit off. I might have to get someone to playtest that and give me some feedback maybe, because I'm not quite sure. But other than that, I want to basically finish the majority of this level. Maybe make some changes to the mechanics of moving planets. And I've also still have a little bit of music I've made that I haven't implemented yet, as I've just not touched music since I've been working on Unity again, just because I was doing it for 2 weeks straight. But other than that, I'll probably add the temporary music for now, just so you can hear it for next week. But other than that, I think that's everything. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Alright, peace.